You are watching coverage of the Fnatic PlayOPEN tournament cast by myself, Totalbiscuit. Yes, indeed, folks. Welcome to SHOUTcraft right here, casting the FnaticMSI $3,000 PlayOPEN tournament. We've got White-Ra right here in the red trunks playing Protoss, as always, on the Xel'Naga Caverns versus his opponent Inso for Razor. In the blue trunks, also playing Protoss. Now, we saw on the last map on the Lost Temple, Inso was able to get out a formidable early single Colossus push, backed up, of course, by the Warp Gate units that Ra was just not prepared to deal with in any way, shape, or form. He got his Colossus out far too late. He only had one Immortal out that came out during the fight, which really wasn't all that useful. Very unfortunate for Ra, but again, it's Protoss versus Protoss. A lot of crazy things can happen. This is best of 3, folks, so one of these guys is getting knocked out, and one of them is advancing to the round of 4. We've already seen big players knocked out already. Brat-OK was knocked out. Huck has been knocked out. TLO has been knocked out, so yeah, anything can happen, folks. Everything is to play for. Everyone wants that sweet MSI laptop. I don't really blame them. Very nice machine. Funnily enough, you know, I have no affiliation with MSI, but I did just actually buy a new laptop for the missus, and it was one of the new MSI. I think it was the 680 with the new Sandy Bridge with the 460 in it, and the thing is boss! Oh my god, it is. I think I'll have to buy one for myself. Anyway, whatever the case, Gateway coming down right here. But guys, there's like a 2-second difference in building. This will define the match. It will not define the match. Yes. I know some of the Team Liquid guys don't like to quote or indeed even associate with Destiny, but Destiny made a very valid point about, say, drone splitting. It's like, nobody ever lost a game because, oh, if only he'd split his drones better. You know, and that's a very, very valid point. I think people do tend to fixate a lot on the minutiae of the games. And you might think, oh, I'm lecturing to you, I'm talking too much right here. Well, what else am I going to say? It's a PvP. The builds will be identical for the time being. You know exactly what's coming before it even comes. You are psychic. You can see the future. You're some kind of Eldar Farseer going on right here, and it's a good reference, folks, because as we know, Blizzard ripped off Warhammer 40,000 quite a lot when it comes to StarCraft. And that's fine. If you're going to rip off a universe, make sure it's something as cool as Warhammer 40,000. Protoss are the Eldar, Zerg are the Tyranids, and of course, the Terran are Imperial Guard and Spec Marines. I was playing a little bit of Dawn of War 2 Retribution. I sadly do not see that as having much of a future in terms of competitive esports because it's imbalanced as hell. It's a relic game. Are you surprised by this? Has there been any divergence? Do I have to keep rabbiting on about things? Yes, I do have to keep rabbiting on about things because there's been no divergence in build order of any description. Oh, PvP. As much as I adore you, I am lying. I didn't adore PvP in any way, shape, or form. You know, Inso, you might actually eventually take that pylon down. He's cut through the shields. I'll give him credit for that. Shields are going down. Stalkers on both sides right now. White-Ra's chrono boosted his, and I don't think his opponent... yes, he has. There you go. Little bit behind on that. So identical. So very identical. But again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why get worried about that? I know some spectators don't like it. Oh, the first 5 minutes of Protoss versus Protoss is really, really boring. I'm sure it is, but there's really not a lot these guys can do about that, is there? You just can't. There you go. The first second warp gate is coming out, and indeed the last second warp gate, folks. Yes, mix up that terminology. It sounds good. Keep it fresh. Say things that don't make any sense. Inso. Gateway coming up. Robotics facility quick for White-Ra. We have seen this build several times before, especially in this tournament. Dumping down a robotics facility on a single gateway and then following it up with a couple more gateways. It allows for an extremely early observer and, of course, for immortals if need be, so that could be pretty damn critical. Inso. Oh, wow. He is mixing it up as well. There you go. Third gateway down and then straight into Twilight Council. Intriguing. A lot of possibilities for that. 2 additional gateways coming up to follow that one up for White-Ra. And we do have the Observer on its way, as you would imagine. At least we will once that gets built. It's like, is he going to build an Observer? Well, no, we don't need anything like that. When you have great map hacks, you don't need an Observer. Nobody is using map hacks in a tournament. Thank you very much. I know some people have this idea that, you know, this cheating is rampant. It's like, are you serious? Anyone was caught cheating in an online tournament, they'd be banned from every tournament ever. It's not a very good idea. Okay, here's the Blink. Inso with the Blink Stalkers this time around. That's a preferred tactic of White-Ra. He absolutely adores them. But this time around, looks like we do have a kind of a swap in terms of strategy. White-Ra is going to go for the Colossus, and Inso is going to go for the Blink Stalkers. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit of time before this Colossus can deploy. Unit count, we can have a look at it right here. Both just sticking on one base right now. Very wary of each other by the looks of it. See, Ra sitting on 3 Zealots, 2 Stalker, and a Sentry versus his opponent, Inso with 7 Stalkers and a Sentry. A lot of Stalkers. That'll be nice. No question. Stalkers very, very, very nice against Colossi. They don't die as quickly as everything else. And, of course, with Blink, you can get in nice and close and do big damage and have an awful lot of mobility. But that is going to get scouted by White Ra. What is his reaction going to be? Let's keep an eye on that production window. Is he going to change anything? Inso has just a very potent force. There you go. Ra, once again, now has to push out that Immortal. But I would actually be very concerned once again for White Ra, because that Immortal is coming out at just the right time, you might think. But that's one Immortal against 10 Stalkers. You know, Immortals are not these amazing hard counter units that kill everything armored. It just doesn't happen, especially against Stalkers. Not actually all that great. You know, they're good, but they're not amazing. And that's going to be problematic, because Inzo's about to apply mega pressure. Does he have a pylon to support it, though? No, he doesn't, which is interesting. I think that's actually a little bit impetuous right now. And as we see, he tries to break the line with it. There's the blink. Not that the blink's actually getting him anywhere at all. You see, it's a nice little bit of micromanagement. He's blinking away the frontline Stalkers, which is allowing him to maximize the amount of damage he can inflict. But White Ra's not having any of that, and he pushes it all the way away. Great micromanagement. Good little bit of dancing there by Inso, but he wasn't able to break the line. Wow, White Ra. White Ra, you're getting that Colossus out, aren't you? Yes, you are, and it's going to be out very, very soon indeed. And once the Colossus out, that's going to turn the tide. Inso loses yet another Stalker for no particular reason and goes into an expansion instead. Let's check. The economy's identical. They pretty much start their expansions at the same time. But the difference right here is that Inso does not have any Colossi. He doesn't even have an Immortal or anything like that. Another gateway coming down. Going to be relying primarily on Blink Stalkers to deal with the Colossi. And yeah, it might work. It's a reasonable plan. I have to be concerned, though. When you let White Ra build Colossi, that is never a good idea. White Ra is a master of Colossi. He can do all sorts of crazy things. Doesn't have his patented death ball that he likes to use against other races here. A simpler build right here. Mostly Zealots, few Stalkers to back it up, and of course throw a Sentry in the mix. Why would you not? Reduce the incoming damage, of course, via the Guardian Shield and a single Colossus. White Ra gets an Immortal out. Are you surprised by this? This could be dangerous, though. Here we go. We're looking for a blink up the ramp. Right now, Ra is out of position. However, that's going to get scouted pretty quickly, and I don't think... Oh, wow, what Ra is actually in a bad... Oh, no, Ra, don't do that. Ra knows exactly... Oh, God, the Colossi taken out. Inso with a great snipe right there. A bait and switch. White Ra realizes what's happening a little bit too late, and now he's actually outnumbered in his own base right here. Inso can blink out of it as well. That's exactly what he does. He takes a Colossus effectively for the cost of a Stalker. That was extremely great play there by Inso. Incredibly good. Baits White Ra, which again is extremely rare. I mean, White Ra known to be a very cool, calculated player, usually not pulled in those traps. So once again, there's the blink. Can he take the robotics facility out? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. He takes it. Oh, wow. There's a freaking turn of the tables right here. Inso with some amazing Blink Stalker play straight into the mineral line. Is he going to sacrifice everything he's got? Because right now he's back into a corner. Doesn't matter how many blinks you've got, you're still going to get shot to pieces. White Ra is angry, and you can see it. He is going to devastate Inso's force if he's not able to get out. And it's, oh my God, straight into the expansion. Unbelievable. Inso, amazing Blink Stalker play right here. And White Ra is not able to deal with it all that well. White Ra, usually the kind of guy that likes to play Blink Stalker against his opponent, now on the receiving end of it, can't be all that happy about that. Inso continues to spawn it. He's got 14 Stalkers on the field, blinks away, taking minimal losses. White Ra is taking a beating right here in terms of units lost. White Ra with counterattack, at least he can deal with that pylon, get it out of the way so that it's not continually spawning units. The question is this going to be a game-winning strategy for Inso, or will this harassment actually just delay the inevitable of White Ra really rolling his economy? As you can see, Inso actually got supply blocks right there, so that's an opportunity that White Ra could take advantage of, but he's not feeling it right now. Doesn't want to push out. He's had to rebuild his robotics again, get his robotics facility up, which is not a good thing. Never want to lose your robotics facility in a situation like this. This is the kind of thing where you're using a single unit. You've got a unit that's pretty good against it. You know, Immortals are going to wreck it, but you can't deploy them. Because, of course, he's blown up the building that builds them. There you go. White Ra's actually in a bit of trouble right here. Economy-wise, though, he's still pretty equal. I mean, you know, certainly don't count him out. Inso was able to apply an awful lot of early game pressure, but I could potentially see that faltering as he goes on. He's going to have to transition into something else. There you go. Well, with the Warp Prism coming up right here, interesting stuff, and Robotics Bay now finally coming up for Inso, so he's going to deploy his own Colossi. We're not seeing Colossi yet for White Ra, though. We've only got the one. not pumping heavily into it. You think, oh, maybe he'll produce a second Colossi. No, he's going to make a Warp Prism instead. Zealot Harassment is a very real possibility right here, as you can see, as well as a Warping. Takes the Observer out. Very nicely done there. White Ra scouts with it. How many Observers has he got? He's only got the one out there, so you might call that a little bit of luck, but I wouldn't never call anything luck when it comes to White Ra. Oh, wow, into the middle line. Inso goes once again, but he can easily blink out of there. He's got an awful lot of mobility, but Harassment goes both ways, folks. It does. It really, really does. And if there's too much harassment, you end up with a lawsuit, and you never really want that, Mr. Bobby Kotick. Oh, he learned the hard way. There you go. Warp Prism with 4 Zealots looking to drop into that. The thing is, Inso is very, very mobile. He'll be able to respond to that quickly and easily. That's now been scouted. He can see it on the mineral line. I would think maybe he's trying to draw his opponent out of position. Indeed, maybe just stop the repeated attacks. Oh, White Ra, cutting it fine. There's the blink in. He's going to lose that Warp Prism pretty much almost immediately. Oh, that is not good at all, but White Ra at least managed to drop down some of the Zealots. It's not quite good enough, though. Oh, Inso is masterful in both offense and defense. White Ra now with Robotics Facility coming out, a second Robotics Facility, folks. Gonna have to look into Immortals, honestly, but then again, bear in mind that his opponent may diversify. That is a massive force he's got rolling out right here. He's got 19 Stalkers, he's got a Colossus, he's got 9 Zealots. He's up against 2 Colossi, he's got 9 Stalkers and 8 Zealots, plus a Sentry. It'll be a pretty hard-fought fight, but bear in mind, those Stalkers are going to be absolutely devastating. Twilight Cancel on the way up for Ra as well. Doesn't like to be without his Blink Stalkers, and as Inso has proved, Blink Stalker is brutal. Level 1 weapon upgrade coming up as well, trying to get the technological edge on his opponent. Inso with a forward pylon. Now, this is going to be a hard-fought defense here by Ra. It's 2 Colossi versus 3 Colossi. Extended Thermal Lance upgrade, as far as I can tell, is available for both. Now, pumping out 2 more Colossi. Here's the decider, folks. Pushing forward once again. Can Inso once again try and deliver that hammer blow? Does he have an Observer? No, he doesn't. All the way. No, he has no Observer at all, so he can't blink up there. But there's the fire being rained on down, folks. Colossi war going on right here. Ducklord Ra outnumbered very significantly in terms of the amount of Stalkers, and Inso is making that count. Zealots annihilated very rapidly. Ducklord Ra's line significantly thinning. There's the blink. 1 Colossus taken. 2 Colossus taken. 3 Colossus taken. Inso's those Blink Stalkers able to reap a terrible tunnel. White Ra. White Ra is in massive amounts of trouble right here. Oh, good Lord in heaven. There you go. GG, ladies and gentlemen. Inso takes it against White Ra. White Ra out of the tournament. Unbelievable. We see the rise of Inso, and wow, was it glorious to behold.